Alrighty guys, we ask the questions and you give the answers. Welcome back to Fog Football, and we're going to be reacting today to another poll that we put up a few days ago. And the question was simple: which team needs a stronger finish to the transfer window to improve their squad for this season's title fight? Now, there was two options. Why was there two options? Because there's only two teams going for the title, just like it is every year. I mean, sometimes there's only one team realistically going for the title, but there's never more than two. That's the key factor here. So, yeah, Celtic, Rangers, 1 point K, 4 votes. I believe there's 92 comments, and I've got a cup of tea here ready to get me through these. Probably need something stronger, though, because no doubt, I mean, half of the comments, at least 50 of the comments are going to be about your club's deed and child molestation and all that shit. Hopefully we've got some good footballing comments, but I don't know, man. The trolling never surprises me here on this channel. So yeah, let's look at the ending results essentially. So pretty split here, pretty even. We've done it in a bracket of 10, so to speak. So Rangers with a multiple of 10, should I say, sorry, I don't know, I'm talking about bracket of 10, what's that pish? Multiple of 10, yeah, so Rangers 60%, so 60% of you people believe Rangers need to have a better transfer window. You believe that Rangers need to improve their squad more in order to be successful in this title fight, whereas 40% of Celtic fans believe that they need to, or not necessarily fans, but 40% of people believe that Celtic need to improve more in this transfer market. So, I mean, pretty split here. It's not 50-50, but it's not a million miles away. It's close here, and I think you can definitely argue, depending on which side you look at it from. You can argue that Rangers need to improve, but I think you can also argue that Celtic need to improve more, just depend on how you're looking at it. Celtic have a small lead, but Rangers seem to be the better team on form. Although I'd say neither team is great. Celtic also just seem to have a big squad, but not a lot of quality in there. Celtic's squad's got a lot of quantity, but not a lot of quality, whereas, I don't know, can you argue that Rangers probably have better players coming off the bench? Can you argue that Rangers maybe have better options than Celtic do? You look at Celtic's bench and Celtic's reserves, and they're not great. Yeah, they've got a lot of players that they signed this season, but a lot of them have been shit. So I probably think that Rangers do need to be the team that improves. Because I think Celtic, as long as they can keep their players fit, I still think Celtic's got a stronger starting 11. I mean, you look at Celtic's midfield, McGregor, Hatate, O'Reilly. I mean, if they keep that trio, and that trio stays fit, I mean, Rangers at the moment can't compete with that. If you look at Celtic up front, despite him not scoring a lot of goals this season, Kyogo is still a hell of a lot better than anybody that Rangers have. So I think when you look at it from that perspective, Rangers definitely are trailing a wee bit. Although I would say that Rangers probably have the better defence at the moment, and they definitely have a better goalkeeper. So there's no doubt in my mind that Jack Butland is better than Joe Hart. But like I said, we are going to get into the comments here. Let's go for it. 92 comments. If there's too much trolling, if there's too much kiddie fiddling, you're dead, zombies, all that shite, then I'm just probably going to skip through it, because nobody's got time for that shite. As funny as it can be sometimes, you know, we're here to answer a serious question. So let's get into it. Gary 2494 with Morelos in his profile pic, his PP, says, "We will cruise to a treble." I don't quite know if that is the case. I don't think anybody's going to cruise to the league, let alone a domestic treble. Could Rangers win a treble? I mean, absolutely. They've already won the Fire Play Cup. I think they've pretty much got a 50-50 chance of winning the league. And then the Scottish Cup, they've got as good a chance as anybody as winning that. So, I mean, Rangers could do a treble, there's no doubt about that, but I just don't see them cruising to it, you know. I mean, even if you take Celtic out the equation, Rangers haven't been that convincing against other teams lately. You know, they're struggling to beat teams. They're getting past teams 1-0 by the odd goal. It's not easy to win a Scottish Cup, so we'll see. I mean, Rangers have only won one Scottish Cup in the last 13 years, so I don't know if they're going to cruise to a treble. Seems a wee bit optimistic, but could they win a treble? Absolutely. CTID said, "The ref's against us. That's comedy gold right there. We can't take on Clancy, etc. Yous are fucking bonkers, you cunts. We are the people. We avoid tax payments." Someone accusing the refs of being against them. I didn't actually know who it was, because both Celtic Rangers get a shitload of decisions in their favour, so I mean that could have been a comment for anybody, but I guess we avoid the tax payments, that kind of sums up you're a Celtic fan, but I don't understand where the refs are against this is coming from. Where was that option? Janice says, I'm not surprised or arrogant to assume we will win the league. Nothing is a sure thing. But I'm keeping the faith that Rangers will get better and stronger under Big Phil. I think that's a fair assumption. I mean, I think Rangers will get better and stronger. I see no reason why they're going to get weaker or they're going to get worse, put it that way. So, we'll see what Phil Clement can do. As for Celtic, they haven't been great under Rodgers, but you're beginning to think that they can't get much worse because it has been very underwhelming, but we'll have to wait and see. Hero YMR says, with the refs against us, we need a good window. That being said, you can feel a implosion on the cards, so they might just eat themselves alive and crumble. Timplosion, I like that. Timplosion. Crooked Winkle Picker. Fuck the arse cheeks. Right, I mean, is that Celtic or Rangers then? What option is that? Fuck the arse cheeks. I mean, who's that for? Marky Mark 7 Mark 588 says, alright pal yourself. Stuart McAllister said Celtic are miles ahead of the rest and will win the league. I mean, they're not really miles ahead. If Rangers win their game in hand, they're only 2 points ahead, so I wouldn't say they are miles ahead. Plus you factor in that Celtic have won both Old Firm games. Had they not won them, they'd have been behind. So Celtic are not miles ahead, okay? They're 2 points ahead when all is said and done. That's not miles, it's a very small margin. It's probably like walking distance. It's like they're 20 metres ahead or some shit like that, It's not miles, definitely not. Anyway, Daniel Gillespie says Rangers have made 4 signings, but I don't think they have the quality to take on Colum, Clancy and the bent SPFL. Okay, so it's not about Celtic's best players, it's about the officials' best players then. Best signing for the past few years, cheating beaten. Nude Nut Madden retired. He's running a mutant supporters club in the Lark Hall, and there's a wee Danny DeVito Walsh up at Beauclair Secondary School with his Sevco training gear on, and finally Andrew Dallas. Sorry, Don Robertson, that's the future Sevco Tenant 6 team. Alrighty, Ronnie Mack with a wee thumbs up. Merck says, always cheat it, never defeat it. Blinded by your own hate, get every decision going, usually a wee pen in the 93rd minute to salvage a draw. It's not like Rangers to get a pen. Moses said, this hun has some balls, me balls, woo. Edward McGee says, who is the only football club worldwide to sack a nonce and rehire him? Not too sure. And you need to answer that for me. I don't know who that is. Mr. Bassman 2004 or 2400 said Celtic have extremely pricey court cases just coming around the corner, hence why they ain't touching that 70 mil. I mean, you've got to wonder if there's any legitimacy to that, because why haven't Celtic spent the money? They have not spent any money. Rangers have closed the gap. Rangers are getting closer, yet this war chest remains unspent. I wonder if there is some truth to that Celtic might be having to pay out, big compensation, big fees and stuff like that, and maybe they are going to have to hold on to that money. So, I don't know, and I know it's a bit of a banter, it's a bit of a dig, but I wonder if there's any truth to it. Celt says, how come Rangers told the police that the old don't think Desmond was around when the same things happened? Rangers should be at least be made to be held accountable. Walter Smith should be talking to the police. I think it's Gordon Neely done it at Rangers Hibs. Alright, I think Walter would have a problem as he has passed away. Yeah, rest in peace, Walter Smith. Ramos, the 67, says Celtic could do a few signings just to make sure of the title, but Rangers need major improvement as they're 1 or 2 injuries away from disaster. 1 or 2 injuries away from disaster. Who would those 1 or 2 injuries be? I'm trying to think. Butland, I think. But I think also McCrory looked pretty good, so I wouldn't say that. As a Celtic fan, as pish as Joe Hart is, you'd probably be more concerned about Joe Hart getting injured, because I think McCrory could come in and do a good job. Even though I said Butland's probably the best goalkeeper in the league this season. He is the best goalkeeper in the league this season, but I wouldn't be that worried. I mean, if Butland got injured, you're replacing him with someone who's good. McCrory proved that he's, a decent goalkeeper and he just needs a chance, but Scott Bain's proved that he's shite, so if you bring in Scott Bain, then I don't know. Maybe Tavernier, he scores a lot of goals, scores a lot of penalties. Maybe he's one of the players Rangers would miss. Big Sock says the Rats are busy paying their victims. Alrighty. Lure Life said Tim's on a meltdown because they can't handle the truth in comments. Johnny Cage, with the noise made from the mutants from Govan, when Celtic lift the league title again, it's going to cause the biggest meltdown in Rangers history. Is that how old? Is that 151 years history, or is it 11-year history? Need to know. Glasgow Blue boxing fan. Coming from a pedo terrorist supporter whose fans are famous for Brillergate. Yeah, good one, terror lover. Mr. Bassman. Like throwing shit at players, death threats and the likes. That's your mob. There's a reason your team ain't spending their cash. They need it for the courts. Have a great day. I think Mr. Bassman might be onto something here. I genuinely think that money might be getting saved. Mate, you lot booed Santa. Yeah, how can you boo Santa? That's fucking disgraceful. Poor Santa Claus. The guy's 100% real. You can't boo him. Marky Mark said Hibs. I mean, come on, mate. When were Hibs... burnt spoons. When were Hibs in the title fight? Have Hibs ever been in a fucking title fight? I'm convinced they haven't. The 4 league titles that they won, I think they were just gifted to them in a lucky bag or something like that. You know, won them in a lottery draw or some shit. I don't think Hibs were ever in a title fight. James Mason said, Rangers are a wannabe English club. I mean, potentially they could be a wannabe English club, and that would probably make Celtic a wannabe Irish club then is in return. Not sure anybody we've heard of is available. Definitely Celtic says, definitely, no, wait, I thought that said, I'm dyslexic, Jesus Christ. I thought that said definitely Celtic. It says definitely Sevco, according to Tim Celtic, so there you go. That's his thoughts there. That wee laughing face to mask your own fears, I get it. Holy shit, 34 replies, man, wow. IX your life. Brenda's in the huff because Savile FC can't risk big spend, and now they finally agreed to settle their 30 victims plus all the legal fees out of court. Okay, let's get into this. LS67, hail hail. All paid to the indemnifier with no guilty verdict. A real win for Celtic Football Club. Thanks for playing, caller. Wrong. The club pays the bills, chief. I live not far away, and the Green Brigade begin on the streets asking fans to help pay the bill. Doubt they would need to do that if it was getting settled by insurance companies. Insurance companies going to pay Paul on abuse case. Away, smoke your socks. Minimum 1 mil to each family. That's 20 mil plus legal costs straight out of the bank. A payment and admission of guilty. Alrighty, so apparently Hale's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer who deals with liability. I can guarantee that Celtic's indemnifier is paying the settlement. Indeed. In other words, you're talking absolutely nonsense. Alright, okay, so I doubt a highly successful law firm. You know, I doubt a highly successful lawyer's probably commenting on Folk Football's community section about who needs to spend more money and replying to accusations and, you know, banter about fucking this shit. So I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah. Craig White said, mate, they believe their club never died, so please don't waste your time. Okay. Did they die though? I mean, we need proof. I don't know. We need someone to come out and say. I mean, obviously Celtic fans say they did. Rangers fans say they didn't. I'll go by the likes of the SFA and UEFA and FIFA. Whatever they say, that's what I'll go with. And I think they said that they're still the same club. So I'm more likely to go by what they say rather than some Celtic fan that doesn't like Rangers. More shit here about insurance, about laws. Craig White's getting stuck in. Indemnities, insurance, compensation. What we got? Not a lot happening here. 50 title ball shops away and touch up young boys. Jesus Christ. See, this is why I normally don't dive into these comments. When you see this many, you know you're in for something. Alright, that's it. Right, more bashing here. We've got, what's this, coefficient points now? I mean, if you want to read through all this, then you can. What fucking language is that, you thick fuck? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. The Boy in Green said Rangers with a sick emoji. Lewis McCrimmon said, separate entity FC for sure. With all that money in the bank, the fans and Rodgers being dubbed by the board again, Rangers will be absolutely fine under Clement's guidance. We are the people. Still pumped your mob twice with a depleted version of the squad. Hey, that's the last time Timmy's your pish. Rangers for the treble. It'll sicken you. We are the people. You struggled against Ross County. You're not that great, Timothy. Always the next time with your mob. Like a broken record. It's the delusion that gets you lot every time. If Celtic don't need any more signings, why the fuck are yous all moaning for quality on the park? True that. lot of Celtic fans are moaning. Celtic are murder on the park. Funny thing is, we beat you every time. We are shite, but Rangers are worse. I mean, I think you can make a case for that. As bad as Celtic are, they always seem to beat Rangers. You know, they beat them in the 2 Old Firm games this season, despite nobody fancying them. I personally thought Rangers would win both games. I was shocked well, not shocked, but I was like a little bit surprised when Celtic won them both. I guess that goes to show that even when Celtic are shite and you don't expect Celtic to win, they still get the better of Rangers. So, Warburton, Pedro, Murdy, all those guys. David O'Connor said Sevco for sure. Johnny Telly says Rangers can win the league with their current squad. They're getting stronger by the day, while the Timbos are standing still. Only thing that can stop them is a European run. Interesting. As a Rangers fan right now, I wonder, would you take going out of Europe right now if it meant, obviously, you know, being stronger domestically? Or would you rather have that European run? If you think that European run's going to cost you the league, then would you rather exit early and, you know, put 100% focus on the league? Johnny Mabry, you keep believing that Dafty you lot can't win against Celtic. Our top players will be returning from Japan soon. That is true. I mean, Celtic do have quite a few players coming. The only problem is, yeah, Celtic have a lot of players coming back for the Asian Cup, but when you think about it, only Hitati and Maeda are the only 2 players that get anywhere near the starting 11, so it's not like there were a lot of players. They've got 2 coming back. Which, you know, don't get me wrong, it's 2 important players, 2 valuable players, but it's not like they've got half a starting 11 coming back at the end of the Asian Cup. Did you see your team against St Mirren? Absolutely mince, as were Celtic vs Ross County. Is that your interpretation of getting stronger by the day? What European run out first game? I mean, I wouldn't go that far. Rangers have showed in the past that they can do well in Europe, so they might not necessarily be out first game. Easily Amused says, depends on who you ask. We're top of the league, have players away on international duty, players returning from injury, and yet the walls are apparently caving in. I'd rather wait for the right players than do what's been happening in the last 2 years and get anyone through the door. I mean, that's true. Celtic's signings in the past couple of transfer windows have not been good, so maybe it's better not to panic by. Old Painless said, you only have to beat teams like St Mirren, Livingston, St Johnstone, Dundee, Ross Crappy, even Hearts no tried against you last 3 games. Embarrassing. Hold on. Even Hearts no tried against you last 3 games. Embarrassing. Fucking Hearts beat Celtic last game they played them. Hearts have beat Celtic more times this season than Rangers have, so I don't know what you're fucking talking about, Old Painless. Anyway, are you a mutant or a good Celtic man? What kind of comment is that? And then No Way Never says Sevco. So there you go, guys. 60% think Rangers, 40% think Celtic. I personally think both teams need to improve. I mean, do both teams need to improve to win the Scottish Premiership? Not really, because they're fighting against each other. All you need to do is be slightly better than the other Old Firm side and you can win the league. But right now, as a whole, if you take 2 teams and you look at them individually and you forget about the Scottish League, neither side's great, okay? And you talk about getting out of the Champions League group stage. I think both sides are a long way away from that at the moment. And I know Celtic did get their first Champions League group win at home in like over 10 years, but still, I'm looking at both these sides right now and I know there's potential for both of these teams to be in the Champions League next year. I don't see any of them advancing the way they're currently playing. I think that both squads need improved big time, and I think they need quality players in. I think that both Celtic and Rangers need to be buying about half a dozen 4, 5, 6 million pound players. I think that's what they need. You know, bringing in these cheap players, these untested players, these loan players isn't working out. Normally when you spend decent money, you get a decent player. You look at Celtic, they spent 7 million on Jota, 7 million on Carter Vickers. Those were good players. Once you spend like 3 or 4, it's been proven over the past couple of seasons that that doesn't necessarily buy you a good player, you know. So, yeah, I think they need to... I think quality is better than quantity. And rather than going out and spending like 20 million among 5 players, 6 players, I think I would rather spend 20 million on 3 players and just add a bit of quality to the squads rather than quantity. Anyway, guys, that is it. The transfer window ends today, 11:30. So we'll see who can make a stronger end to this January window. At the moment, Rangers have signed more players than Celtic, but like I said, everyone is kind of untested. The only one that we've really seen in action is Fabio Silva, and I'm yet to really make a judgment on whether he's going to be an important signing or make a big impact on this Rangers squad. So, yeah, Rangers I think are leading 4-1 at the moment. I do think Celtic will make a few signings today, But whether they'll be good signings or not, I mean, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's it, guys. Keep you updated for the rest of the day. Been Fog Football. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.